just call him back because I saw his missed call. So I called and then I heard, hello? Are you Nanama? Are you Nanama? You're the one disturbing my son. I just ended the call there. Like, I hung up on the woman. Like, I didn't even wait. Like, minutes later, he was calling. So I thought it was him. So I foolishly picked the call again. And then it was his mom. And he was like, you hung up on me? Is that what your mommy taught you? Is that what your daddy taught you? You are calling my son at 2 a.m.? You are calling my son at 2 a.m.? You won't sleep? Is that what you're so Jai. So at that time, I was still in boarding school. So like, I think it was time for me to go to school. Hey, the money that my father would give to me, I would save. So I used to go and buy credits. See me at the phone booth. I'll be calling my boyfriend. Hey, Jimmy. So I realized that he started posting this girl, the same best friend. That same best friend now became girlfriend after like a week that we broke up. Like, imagine, like, think about it. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So as you guys know from the title, today it's going to be a story time, an interesting story time. So I'm actually contemplating if I should just be sitting here and just be telling you guys the story, or if I should actually be doing something. I know I want to take pictures for my Instagram today. I don't know if I want to be doing my makeup as I'm telling the story, but I think I can do that, you know, just to make it all like come together, or just add some spice. Your girl was a side chick for weeks, months. Well, not necessarily months, but I actually didn't think I was going to tell this story. But I mean, it's interesting, and it happened like almost 5 years ago. I was in high school. Like, come on, who knows anything while I was in high school? Like, in high school, you really don't know anything. So I'm just going to tell you guys the story. So this is an actual story. Like, it's a real story. Like, it's not made up. Like, it's something that legit happened. So if you know anybody in this story that I'm about to tell, if I'm my friend and you know lip gloss, damn. If I'm my friend and you know anybody in this story, I forgot my lip gloss. I'll be right back. So as I was saying, if I'm my friend and you know anybody in this story, just keep quiet. Don't come and remind me of anything, or don't let me know that you know. Do you get it? Like, you bam. So let's go ahead and start the story. So this thing happened when I was in high school, and before I actually start telling the story, girl, if he has a best friend, if somebody tells that, no, if he tells that he has a best friend, if somebody tells that he has a best friend, if you get a hint that he has a best friend, like if you see that he has a best friend, run. Run, cause all these best friend thing. Okay, so I'm not going to mention anyone's real name in this story. I'm just going to make up names. So if you know them, fine. If you don't know them, too bad. Just go with the flow. Okay. So basically, one random day, I was at home. I was in my house using my phone. At that time, there was this very popular app. Like, everyone was on that app. Like, that's just where everybody was on this app. That's basically where everything was happening. Like, all the gist, all the high school gist. Let me adjust this for. That's where all the high school gist and everything was. Like, if you want to know what's going on, like, you have to be on this app. Like, Like that was the ish. So I was just on this app. Hey, shit. I mean, who doesn't want to know what's going on? So I was just there one day. I wasn't even on the app that day. Like I was really just there, just chilling. Like, and I got a message. Hi. Oh, hi. So I got a message from somebody. I'm going to name him. What's a name that I don't like? I'm going to name him Kwan. Like, I really don't like that name, so I'm just going to name him Kwan. So I just got a message from one Kwan like this, and I was like, hi, who is this? Like, you know how girls are. I was like, hi, who's this? And then he was like, hi, I'm Kwan, and I just wanted to know who you were. I was like, first of all, that's not how to approach somebody. Like, won't you introduce yourself? Like, I mean, like, won't you tell me who you are? And then he was like, well, he's Kwan, he's from here and here and here. I was like, okay. You know, in high school, we're always going with, how'd you get my number? Like, that's literally the first thing. So I was like, okay, how'd you get my... I was like, okay, so how'd you get my number? And then he was like, oh, I really don't know how your number came on my phone, but I had your number, I saw your number saved on the app, so I decided to text you to know who you are. And I was like that does not even make sense. Like, it didn't make sense. Like, how can my number just be on your phone, saved on your phone, like with the name and everything? So he was like, he's not lying, he sent a screenshot. I was like, this screenshot is not going to prove anything, because like you could have literally go to my number from somewhere, saved it, taken a screenshot and telling me that you found the number on your phone. Like, does that even make sense? That boy. So I was like, okay, I really don't believe what you're saying. Like, I don't believe what you're saying, but okay, let's just go with the flow. So I went to check his profile picture, and I see that, oh, this guy actually has nice pictures. Hey, he's cute. He's cute. Fine boy. Muscles are muscles. It's okay, let's end it there. So I went to check his pictures and I realized that, okay, this boy is actually fine. Oh, he's a fine boy. Like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being friends, right? So I was like, okay. So we picked it up from there. Like, we were talking, like, we got to know each other more. I got to know where he was, the school he was in, and I was in high school by then. So, oh damn it, I shouldn't have given you guys a time range, because then my friends would try to guess who the person is. But like, I mean, this happened a long time ago. No biggie. So we started talking, like free nights call. Hey, to go, free nights call. To go, free nights call. Hey, one touch, call me back. One touch, call me back. Arriba transfer. Casa party, go. Anyways, we used to talk like deep into the night. Like at 12 a.m. this guy's credit will finish. He will run to the cell and go back. Like, I'm not even trying to lie to you guys. Like, he will literally go and buy it. Like, I really felt that I'd found my Mr. Right at that age. Like, doesn't saying it now, it doesn't even make sense. But like, the way he was putting in the effort, the way he went and buy the credits, like, with speed of light. So like 5 minutes he will start calling. Like 5 minutes after he runs out of airtime, he will just start calling. So I'm going to tell you guys something funny that actually happened one day. So we used to talk like a lot, like no sleep. Like, I was losing sleep for nothing. For what? Like, I was losing sleep for what?
But you did this for what? Why not? Why not?
So one random day I was there. It was like around, we were talking till like 12, and he was actually out of airtime. So he went to get airtime and I slept up. I didn't think he was going to call back. Like, okay, so as I was saying, one random day we were talking till like 12 a.m. and he ran out of airtime, and I actually didn't think he was going to call back. Like, I waited for like 5-10 minutes and he wasn't calling. So I was like, okay, maybe that's it for the night. So I actually did doze off, and then I ended up waking up like later that night, like around like 2 or something. So I was like, okay, let me just call him back because I saw his missed call. So I called, and then I heard, hello? Are you Nanama? Are you Nanama? You're the one disturbing my son. I was like, boom. I just ended the call there. Like, I hung up on the woman. Like, I didn't even wait. Like, I didn't even wait to... I didn't even wait. I just hung up. Like, she attacked me with full force. Like, I could tell that she was actually waiting for me to call. No, his airtime hadn't actually like finished. His mom had seized his phone because I don't know, I think his mom came in when he was on the phone with me, but I didn't hear anything. So I tried to call back and all that. So I hung up, and then like some few minutes later he was calling. So I thought it was him. So I foolishly picked the call again, and then it was his mom. And he was like, you hung up on me? Is that what your mommy taught you? Is that what your daddy taught you? You are calling my son at 2 a.m. You are calling my son at 2 a.m. You won't sleep? Is that what you're so this woman is reading all wrong. And I was like, no, mom, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were going to pick the phone. I was scared. That's why I hung up. I'm really sorry. I was apologizing. She was like, well, Kwan is no longer available. I have seized his phone. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh, my heart. Anyway, so she ended up seizing his phone. I didn't hear from him for a while, for some few days. I didn't hear from him. Like, I didn't know what I was going to do. I was very, very sad. My boyfriend, Papi, shit. That's at that time. Anyway, so that whole like incident blew over. He got his phone back. We started talking again. Like, oh, same. We'll call like 2 a.m, 3 a.m. We'll still be on the phone. Credits best time. He will go and buy more credits. Share, rich man. Jai. So at that time, I was in boarding school. So like, I think it was time for me to go to school. The money that my father would give to me, I would save. So I used to go and buy credits. See me at the phone booth. I'll be calling my boyfriend. Jimmy. Jimmy, I was using all my money to call this boy. Like, whenever there's like nobody at the phone booth, first person I'll go and call. I'll go and beg a teacher. God have mercy. I'll go and beg a teacher. Oh, I want to call my dad. Like, oh, I just have to ask my dad. I will not call I'll not call my dad. Oh, I'll call this boy. I kept calling. I kept calling him, sir. So, gosh. So it was one vacation. I came home and I was still talking to, like, we're still together, obviously. So I was still talking to him. And then I realized that he started posting another girl. And then I was like, who's this girl that you started posting? Like, ever since I came back from school, you've been posting this girl. Like, why? As if you are not with somebody. And he was like, oh, that's his best friend. I was like, oh, that's his best friend. And one note that she's like a sister to him, that he can't even do such a thing to me. So, what could I do? He said that was his best friend, so I had to take it like that. So I actually believed that was his best friend. So I was like, okay, fine. But then it was actually getting too much. Like, it was really getting too much, and it was getting on my nerves. So anytime he posts this girl, I would still text him. I was like, Kwan, why? What are you doing? Why you posting this girl like that? Why? And he used to tell me, oh, that's my best friend. Like, that's my best friend. Like, and he would literally post like screenshots of them FaceTiming or something. And like, I didn't actually know what was going on, because he was still calling me and everything. So I didn't really have anything like to be suspicious about, apart from the whole posting thing. Like, I mean, we all post our best friends and all that, but beware. So he started posting this girl like a lot, like screenshots of them FaceTiming and whatnot, and it was really getting on my nerves. So one time he actually ended up traveling out of the country. And then like the communication barrier just became worse, because already when he was in Ghana, I had actually never seen him, like, and the communication was already like shaky, like, because he was far from me, and it was hard for me to go and see him, for him to come and see me, and I was still going to boarding school. So when he traveled and I went back to school, I would spend all my money. Like, it was even worse, because now he's outside. So imagine buying your 2 cedis airtime to be calling a foreign number. Oh gosh, it was just it was not it. So regardless, I'll still use the money that my dad has given me to buy airtime to call this boy. Like, I mean, I couldn't blame him because I didn't have a phone on me at that time, so he couldn't call me or anything. So I was actually not thinking too much of it. So I actually stopped calling at a point, because like school was almost ending. So I was like, oh, I'm worried. I'm going home anyways. I'm going to have my phone. We're going to talk more and everything. So when I go home that vacation, like, things had really changed. Like, this guy will not be calling me, but he'll be posting screenshots of he and his so-called best friend. Problem. So I was asking, I was like, something wrong? Like, what's happening? Like, this vacation is just weird. Like, it's not like the normal vacation that I just go to school, come back, and we keep talking and vibing. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? What are you up to? You know? He was like, oh, nothing. No, at that time he had traveled, so the accent was coming. And he was like, oh, nothing much. And he was still posting this girl. See, ladies, that's your sign. That is your sign. Like, when you hear best friend, just run for your life, because he's lying. That's not his best friend. That's really not his best friend. So he was still giving me this best friend excuse for the longest. Like, he really held it together. He kept it together. Like, he did very well. Like, he did really well. He kept it very well together. He wasn't telling me, oh, that's his best friend, that's his best friend, that's his best friend. He was still posting. So I realized that he was beginning to pick up like unnecessary fights with me, like things that we shouldn't argue about. We started arguing about them, and then, well, it's after we argued, that's when he started posting that girl more. So I was like, what's the meaning of all this that you're trying to do? Like, you're doing too much. You are doing too much. Are you not embarrassed by what you're doing? Like,
are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
Anyways, he wasn't embarrassed, I guess. So he was still posting this girl. He began to pick up like unnecessary fights with me. Like, we'll argue over the silliest thing. I was like, okay, what can I do? So just one time we argued over something that I cannot tell you guys about. It was something very unnecessary though, like something so trivial. Like, thinking about it, anyways, we argued about that, and he was like, I want to break up with you because of this and this and that, because you didn't do this and this and that, because of that argument that we had. And I was like, hold on one second. Like, we literally had this argument just yesterday. Like, you probably wanted this like a long time ago. Don't come and tell me that it's because of the argument. That's yeah. Anyways, when somebody breaks up with you, what do? You cry, you listen to sad songs. At least me, that's what I do. I started listening to my sad songs and all those things, because my relationship had ended. Relationship that I invested all my 2 cedis is money, yo. 2 cedis is money. All my 2 cedis. Anyway, so this guy broke up with me, painfully, just like that. It all ended. Then my whole breakup session was, that phase was gradually becoming like it was disappearing. Like I wasn't caring anymore, you know, like I was just vibing, like living my life. I was just there living my life. I mean, what can I do? So we broke up, but we decided to not be like enemies or to like not talk to each other. Like we still kept our numbers. I didn't block him, he didn't block me. Like we were literally just there. Like we were not talking, but we still had each other's phone numbers and socials and all that. So I realized that he started posting this girl, the same best friend. That same best friend now became girlfriend. After like a week that we broke up. Like imagine, like think about it. Think about it.
Think about it. Think, man. Wow.
Think about it. Like a week, just a week, that we broke up. Our best friend became girlfriend. Like what does that tell me? That tells me that he was literally seeing this girl whilst he was seeing me. And he just kept on lying to me that was his best friend. And that was his best friend, and that was his best friend. Like so he was literally lying to me that was his best friend when he was actually seeing this girl. Like it was like nothing could tell me otherwise. He was seeing that girl, and I, a whole me, I was now his side chick. Cause it was just very obvious. Cause like I wasn't getting the attention anymore. I wasn't getting the calls anymore. I wasn't getting the FaceTime anymore. I wasn't getting the video calls anymore. Petty arguments. Like it was just clear that he was seeing somebody else. But at that time, it wasn't clear. Obviously, I was really young and actually thought, oh, I'd found somebody. As at that time, since it's madness, it's colo mentality. See, if you are below 17, like I really think you shouldn't even waste your time. Like 17 and below, like it's not worth it. If I could go back in time and go back to that age, that 16, 17, 18-ish age, like I'd really like think about what I decided to do and who I decided to do things with. Like because like as you grow, you realize that all these things are just unnecessary. So at least to me, it seems unnecessary to me now. Like I actually wish I spent all those nights that I did not sleep and I was actually on a video call hiding under my blankets. My father would think that, oh, this girl is sleeping, my daughter is sleeping. I'll be under my blankets video calling somebody, whispering. All that for what? All that sleep, I lost it. For what? So I'll say this and say it again. If I could actually go back in time to the day that he actually sent me that message, oh my god. If we could have, I wish we could have like a preview of how like things are going to go with somebody, or how somebody actually is, so that you just don't waste your time to be here now and to not talk to them anymore. Like wasting your 2 CDs and your credits. It's not worth it. It's not. Go and sleep that sleep. Go and sleep that sleep, honestly. So if you get to know that he has a best friend, run for your life, because all these best friend things, they're really, there's something under. Like take it from me, there's something under, something going on. So yeah, that's the end of this video of how your girl was a side chick. Tears, clown. Yeah. So if you enjoyed this story time and want to watch more story times from me, let me know in the comments, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in another video.